Welcome to this explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here today because, well, we're going to look at something that's literally reshaping how we think about creativity, especially for the next generation. Close your eyes for just a second. Picture a 10-year-old kid sitting at their desk in their bedroom. They've got this massive, sprawling idea for a movie in their head, but they have absolutely no way to actually make it, right? Well, today that completely changes. We're diving into the Visual Intelligence Toolkit. Now, this isn't just software for Hollywood pros anymore. It's this magical, high-tech sandbox for young creators. Today, we're going to unpack the exact tools that are empowering students to become the next generation of master storytellers, armed with literally nothing but an internet connection and their boundless imagination.
So how do you create realistic cinema without a camera? I know, it kind of sounds like a trick question. For over a century, filmmaking meant you needed physical lenses, heavy lighting rigs, huge sets, the whole shebang. For a kid with a big imagination, buying a $5,000 camera and hiring a crew, yeah, that's flat out impossible. But what if they didn't need one? We are crossing a brilliant new frontier here. By removing the physical camera, we remove the single biggest barrier for young minds. A kid can now craft breathtaking, high-end visual stories without ever touching a physical lens. By the end of this explainer, you'll see exactly how this magic trick is pulled off and how it's totally changing education and art forever.
And this brings us to what we call the faceless channel revolution. Now, you might usually hear this term applied to adult professionals making romantic wedding reels or, high-converting product ads. But here is the really exciting twist. Young creators are taking these exact same professional formats and totally reinventing them. They're building entire faceless YouTube channels where they don't even need to step in front of a camera. That historical story format? A student is now turning that into a stunning, super accurate history project for school. That product ad, it's now a captivating animation for a gadget they just invented out of cardboard in their garage. They're crafting AI cinematic shorts about wild adventures and motivational videos just to inspire their friends. Honestly, having these tools is exactly like giving a kid an entire creative agency, right at their fingertips, ready to execute whatever wild vision they dream up. So let's define exactly what this magical toolkit actually is. The Visual Intelligence Toolkit is a popular suite of AI tools that globally democratizes video creation, breaking down language and technical barriers for making YouTube content. But okay, let's strip away the fancy vocabulary for a second. What does democratizing actually mean here? Basically, it means leveling the playing field. It transforms every kid's dusty old family computer into a world-class animation studio, no matter their age, their background, or even their drawing ability. In the past, if a kid wanted to animate a story, they had to spend years learning impossibly complex, super frustrating software. Now, those technical hurdles are completely gone. They can just focus on the pure joy of figuring out what story they want to tell and actually watching it come to life. Okay, let's dive right in and explore the actual tools making this all possible. This brings us to Section 1, Masters of Cinematic Motion, or as I like to call them, the heavy lifters. We're going to start with VO, which really represents the dawn of hyper-realistic AI cinema. I want you to think of VO like a magic paintbrush for a young creator. You know how kids often have these incredibly vivid, super detailed worlds in their heads, but when they try to draw them, they just end up with stick figures and get super frustrated? VO bypasses that frustration completely. It's kind of like having a genie trapped inside the computer. A child can simply type out a descriptive sentence, say, a glowing neon spaceship landing in a dense jungle, and VO acts as that magic paintbrush, rendering an extremely lifelike video straight from those words. It's engineered specifically for creating AI videos that just completely blur the line between a kid's wild imagination and photorealistic reality. Now, what's really fascinating here is how different tools handle different kinds of magic. We just talked about VO, which is your go-to for those extremely realistic AI videos. But then we have the Luma AI Dream Machine. If VO is the paintbrush, Luma's superpower is the art of cinematic motion. Think of it like a magic flying carpet. When a young creator wants to sweep the camera through a magical castle, or maybe dive down a towering waterfall, making the whole scene feel completely alive and in motion, Luma provides that thrilling ride. And then rounding out the table, we have Kling AI, which specializes in realistic character videos. Kling is essentially the digital puppet master of this sandbox. If a student's story relies on human emotion, like maybe they want a character to smile warmly, blink, or wave naturally, Kling brings those lifelike actors and subtle expressions right to the screen.
Now that our young creators have their heavy tools to build their worlds, let's move right into Section 2, Speed, Effects, and Edits. This is all about the quick sketch and that final polish. Let's see how this builds on our foundation by comparing two absolute powerhouses in this space, Runway and Pika. Runway is truly the frontier of text-to-video synthesis and full video editing. Now, I know synthesis is a big word, but just think of Runway as a giant, endless bucket of digital Lego bricks. It allows a kid to build absolutely anything from scratch and acts as a comprehensive, heavy-duty workstation to put it all together. On the flip side, Pika is described as visions in motion. It totally excels at generating short AI clips. So if Runway is that giant bucket of Legos, Pika is more like a high-tech flipbook. It's absolutely perfect for those moments when a creator just needs a really fast, fun, and stunning short animation to drop right into their story.
And building right off of that, we have Haluo AI and Pixverse, which are absolutely crucial for a very specific reason: speed and engagement. We all know that kids, and honestly all of us today, have pretty short attention spans. They love seeing instant results. Haluo AI is built for pure speed. It's basically the rocket ship of fast AI video generation. When a young mind has an idea and they want to see it right this second without waiting around, they turn to Haluo. Pixverse, on the other hand, is all about effects and social media videos. Think of Pixverse as a massive box of magical digital stickers, glowing transitions, and cinematic glitter. It lets kids add that eye-catching pop to their videos, making them feel extra special before they share them with their friends online or present them to the class. We've gathered all our incredible, magical footage, so let's move right into our final section, the final cut. This is where we bring it all together.
So the really crucial point here is how these young creators actually connect all these tools into a single workflow. It might sound a bit technical, but honestly, it's a lot like baking a cake. Step 1 is to generate motion using Luma AI for that foundational cinematic motion. This is like mixing the cake batter, getting those big foundational ingredients working together so you have a really solid base. Step 2 is add flair. You take that Luma footage and run it through Pixverse to layer in those fun social media effects. This is the best part, right? Adding the colorful frosting, the sprinkles, the decorations that just make it look amazing. And finally, step 3 is the final polish, where you use CapCut AI for ultimate AI editing and templates. CapCut is like taking that beautifully decorated cake and putting it on a gorgeous display stand for everyone to see. It seamlessly pieces the final project together, empowering anyone to create a polished masterpiece.
I really want to pause on this incredible idea for a second: the dawn of hyper-realistic AI cinema. Now, hyper-realistic might sound super academic, but here's what it truly means for the next generation. It means a middle schooler's imagination is no longer trapped in stick figure drawings or limited by whatever physical resources they happen to have. Their ideas can now look as real, as vibrant, and as breathtaking as the massive blockbuster movies they go see in theaters. The technical barriers, the expensive cameras, the lighting crews, the render farms, have literally vanished into the cloud. We are standing at the very beginning of a profound new era in education and creativity. It's an era where a child's ability to tell a story is limited exclusively by the size of their imagination, not by the size of their piggy bank. Which leaves us with the single most important thought of this entire explainer. Now that this magical tool can exist, what will the next generation create? Will the child in your life use these tools to build the next great, visually stunning historical documentary for their science fair? Will they invent a whole new cinematic universe right from their bedroom desk? The tools are right in front of them, just waiting for their vision. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what the young creators of tomorrow build today.